Hmm. Um, I think that the first thing that I would recommend is that people set an intention to unite their body, mind, soul as one. Because soul is the only power to really smooth our journey forward. And when we align with soul, honestly, our vibration raises. Be positive.
Mm.
Know that everything you need is already within you. I have an events page at my website, which is freetobewealthy.net, and I constantly post um, world events. And it's like um, um, Napoleon Hill, who wrote The Science of Getting Rich, said that when two or more unite in a spirit of cooperation, that a third invisible power is liberated, and that power is like no other principle, like no other truth, and it's available to everyone who participates. So I constantly put these heart powered world events, unity consciousness, and people could go there and they could tap into that. Because what happens is that when you do that, see, this shift is about unity, cooperation, participation, compassion, and love. So if we could build those into our life and be positive. Look at everything positively. The electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times more powerful than the electromagnetic field of the mind. So when we respond, and I'll say it this way, when we respond with a less negative intent, so less negatively intense reaction. So if we choose um, irritation. Okay, let's say I get angry.
Mm.
So I say, okay, I'm going to learn to master my emotions. So the next time, instead of getting angry, I'm going to try and just be irritated. Okay. And so then once I master irritation, okay, instead of being irritated, I'll just be concerned.
Mm.
And then after I master concern, then maybe I want to try neutral.
Mm.
So I go into, okay, I'm going to be without judgment, criticism, blame, anger, revenge. I'm just going to stay neutral. I know everybody has free will and that they get to use their free will the way they choose to, because that's between them, their soul, and their creator. So I'm not going to judge them. I'm just going to let them be where they are. And then the next step is to start looking a little. There's always a positive intent. One of the principles of quantum physics is that everything is driven by its higher potential, its positive intent, and that is oneness.
Mm. Mm.
So when we go and look for what's really happening, it's like the situation in Egypt. People in poorer countries who have less to lose than us on this side of the world are willing to risk it all now because they want to end injustice. Well, injustice is incoherence and it's darkness. So what Egypt did, this is called collective resonance. When someone chooses a lesser negative response or a neutral or a kinder response, what happens is you become a bridge for other people to cross into the new world. It's like it's a physics phenomenon. It's like if you put two clocks on the wall and they're 5 minutes apart, eventually they will come into harmony. It's the
Yes.
same thing with
Yes.
us. Is
Mm.
that when we
Mm.
one person, that's how one person can make a difference in the world.
Yes, and that's so true. Now, but it begins with self-love.
Yes.
So, how does one get into loving oneself? Because most of the time we're judging ourselves. Well, I'm not thin enough, or I'm too large, or I'm not fair enough, or I don't have the colored hair that I need, or I'm not tall enough. It's constant, the constant chatter of self-judgment. How do we master self-love?
Um, it's it's about mastering the mind. And I think the breath is one thing that you can use because the breath stills everything down. Um, for me, the breath connects the form, the physical, perceived physical, because really this
Mm,
isn't true,
mm,
but
mm.
the breath connects the physical body with the non-physical soul. So when we do the deep breathing, everything in the body slows down, including the mind. And actually, I'd like to introduce something that I was introduced to last night. It's called Zero Point, and it's like a reset button that you can use, and it's like how it was presented is that you see a circle, like an empty circle, like a void, and then put a dot in the middle. So wherever you have something going on that's not comfortable, like you have a pain or you have this mind chatter going on, to just imagine, if your mind is really active, to just imagine that circle with the middle dot in your mind and just say the word 0 point. And I would actually ask my soul, because she does everything with me. I would ask her to erase whatever doesn't serve me and to replace it with something that does, because I'm becoming a new human. And you see, life really, the power of our soul is limitless. And so for me, it's moving away from anything outside. I shouldn't say that. It's about using less of the external stimuli to bring ourselves into this new human experience, and more about learning how to master energy. That's the key. So, it's like go for a walk in nature, because when you connect with nature, the energy of the earth and nature, talk to a tree, hug a tree, talk to the animals. It's like that's bringing you back into your natural rhythm, which the mind takes us out of. Yeah, play music, dance, move your body. If you, and I would suggest music without words, because if you just would turn on music in a room and just you and that music will take you to another level. So it's another way of not bypassing, but and I talk to my mind. I tell my mind, it's time. The journey's only like 16 inches, but it's taken us millions of years to get there. So you know what? We're one. No more of
Yes.
this, you work one way and you work another. We're a team. So it's like ego. It's like, the ego lives in the past, only in the past or the future, and soul lives only in the now. So when I'm worrying about the future or the past, I know I'm not with my soul empowered.
Yes. So, Doreen, could you tell us on how we could calm the mind and any other tools that you have that we could use?
Yes, there are two things that I'd like to offer. One of them right now, it's going on with Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's an eminent cellular biologist. A lot of the amazing illumined beings, and they're doing a couple of weeks, and it's called the tapping process. And so,
Yes.
if you have a pattern or a process in your life that you would like to change, to transform, you use the tapping of the meridians of the body. And so that's offered for free for a couple of weeks. The other thing that happened this week, Steve Rother from lightworker.com, he did a live webinar, and I don't have the link up, but as soon as we're done tonight, I will go find the link. People could listen to the recording, and it's about putting on the new template of the new human. It's
Wow.
because we came here with a certain template, and now through our awakening and our love and our light that our body is holding, we're like bursting at the seams, so to speak. So what he did was he offered this process to help us release the smallness that we are, and to put on this whole new template that will allow us to move into the new human experience. So I will post that tonight.
Amazing. Yes, we've used tapping to manifest prosperity and shift ourselves. So tapping has had some amazing results. It's a fabulous tool. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how could each of us participate in bringing a new dawn and victoriously liberate ourselves?
Okay, as I said earlier, I think the first step really is to have an intention, talk to your mind and your body, and tell them, we have this opportunity to evolve to a new era, to become the bringers of a new dawn, this amazing destiny that's just waiting for us to choose. I mean, this is free will zone, so people are all being asked right now to choose. Will you choose unity consciousness? And I'd like to just reiterate that even today, after this show, if people could go into their heart and just close their eyes and connect with their soul, and say, I choose unity consciousness. I choose a greater destiny. I choose to live in the light, beyond the incoherence, because I believe we will even bypass the death process in our next evolutionary process. We will just say, I want to go to the seventh dimension today, and we'll be in the seventh dimension. Like, all of the pain, the suffering, all of that will all be gone. I mean, my goodness, haven't we asked God to take us out of bondage, out of this pain and suffering? Well, now's the opportunity. So the first thing is to choose